Krishna Ram,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram.
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri
Hare
Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. Today is Sunday, 1st of October. It is Ashwini Masa or Padmanabha Masa and Krishna Paksham, Tadiya Tidi. So there are no Vaishnava events today, so we shall quickly enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Dharani or Mother Earth in the form of cow speaking to Dharma, who is in the form of bull, about her lamentation. What is the reasons? So yesterday we have seen she she has explained so many 40 qualities, and all these 40 auspicious qualities, they exist in Krishna, and now Krishna is out of sight, and because of that Kali's influence, and she is lamenting. So likewise she mentioned, so we have covered the first one paragraph, so we shall continue the same purport. Satyam saucham dayakchantihi tyagaha santosha arjavam samodamah tapah samyam titiksha upartihi srutam jnanam virakti raishwaryam sauryam tejo bhalam smrutihi स्वातंत्र्यं कौशलं कांतिः धैर्यं माधवम् एव च प्रागल्भ्यं श्रेयःशीलं सहवोजो बलं भगः गाम्भीर्यं स्थैर्यम् आस्तिक्यं कीर्तिमानो अनहङ्कृतिः एते च अन्ये च भगवन् नित्ययत्र महागुणाः प्राज्ञा महत्त्वम् इच्छद्भिः नव्यन्ति स्म करिहिचित् तेनाहं गुणपात्रेण श्रीनिवासेन साम्प्रतं सोजामिरहितं लोकं पाप्मना कलिना ईक्षितम्. So Krishna, Tena aham gunapatrena Srinivasena, who is the embodiment of all these auspicious qualities. So he has Sampratam in the recently Rahitam. So he is now out of sight. Because of that, so charming. So I am now lamenting. Because Lokum Papuna Kalina Ikshitam, all these people in this planet, on the earth, Kalina Ikshitam, wherever I see all these, so many sinful activities. Papmana Kalina Ikshitam, I am seeing all sinful activities. Because Krishna is out of sight and Kali is influencing its everyone. So likewise, Madharat is speaking. So once again, to see the translations for this verse, I shall share the screen. So in him reside truthfulness, cleanliness, intolerance of others' unhappiness, the power to control anger, self-satisfaction, straightforwardness, steadiness of mind, control of the sense organs, responsibility, equality, tolerance, equanimity, faithfulness, knowledge, absence of sense enjoyment, leadership, chivalry, influence, the power to make everything possible, the discharge of proper duty, complete independence, dexterity, fullness of all beauty, serenity, kind-heartedness, ingenuity, gentility, magnanimity, determination, perfection in all knowledge, proper execution, possession of all objects of enjoyment, joyfulness, immovability, fidelity, fame, worship, pridelessness, being as the personality of Godhead, eternity, and many other transcendental qualities which are eternally present and never to be separated from him. That personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all the goodness and beauty, Lord Sri Krishna has now closed his transcendental pastimes on the face of the earth. In his absence, the age of Kali has spread its influence everywhere. So I am sorry to see this condition of existence. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we shall enter into next paragraph. So can I request any devotees to read this second part of the paragraph?
Prabhu, we are not able to see. The share didn't work.
Can't you see, Prabhuji?
No, Prabhu, we can't see your share.
We can see now, Prabhu.
I
On
can
our
see.
phone. We can see.
Yeah. So if you are seeing any devotees, kindly read this.
I don't know about others, Prabhu. I cannot see in my iPad. Sorry.
We can see.
Okay,
Now
that's fine.
we can see, Prabhu.
Okay. Anyone would like to read this paragraph? First two paragraphs.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. The Lord never deviates from his word of honor. When he gives assurance for protection, the promise is executed in all circumstances. It is the duty of a pure devotee to be fixed in the discharge of the duty entrusted to him by the Lord or the Lord's bona fide representative, the spiritual master. The rest is carried on by the Lord without break. The responsibility of the Lord is also unique. The Lord has no responsibility because all his work is done by his different appointed energies. But still, he accepts voluntary responsibilities in displaying different roles in his transcendental pastimes. As a boy, he was playing the part of a cowboy. As the son of Nanda Maharaja, he discharged responsibility perfectly. Similarly, when he was playing the part of a Kshatriya as the son of Maharaja Vasudeva, he displayed all the skill of a martially spirited Kshatriya. In almost all cases, the Kshatriya king has to secure a wife by fighting or kidnapping. This sort of behavior for a Kshatriya is praiseworthy in the sense that a Kshatriya must show his power or of chivalry to his would-be wife so that the daughter of a Kshatriya can see the value of her would-be husband. Even the personality of Godhead, Sri Rama displayed such a spirit of chivalry during his marriage. He broke the strongest bow called Haradhanur and achieved the hand of Sita Devi, the mother of all opulence. The Kshatriya spirit is displayed during the marriage festivals, and there is nothing wrong in such fighting. Lord Krishna discharged such responsibility fully because although he had more than 16,000 wives, in each and every case he fought like a chivalrous Kshatriya and thus secured a wife. To fight 16,000 times and secure 16,000 wives is certainly possible only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, he displayed full responsibility in every action of his different transcendental pastimes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Hare
so much,
Krishna.
Mataji. Okay, so here in this purport, Prabhupada is mentioning about the word of honor. Lord never deviates from his word of honor. And when he gives assurance for protection, the promise is executed in all circumstances. So sometimes we may see about Krishna's promise in the Vrindavana to all the gopis, why Krishna has not returned back, but once again, Krishna has mentioned that he is always with them. So even though his body is not present, but they are able to see Krishna in a different way. And it is a duty of a pure devotee to be fixed in discharge of the duty entrusted to him by the Lord or the Lord's bona fide representative, the spiritual. The rest is carried on by the Lord without a break. It is the once again whatever promise we have, this is once again the truthfulness to be maintained. What we should not speak whatever which cannot be fulfilled. In this age of Kali, that is the most good quality. If we maintain that one, whatever we speak, we stick on to those words, then we have made it. That is, truthfulness is the one of the pillar of dharma. And then responsibility of the Lord is also unique. Lord has no responsibility because all his work is done by different appointed energies. So he has got Swavaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. And all this, and he is not Name Karmanti Lipani Name Karma Pales Praha. So he doesn't have to do anything, and he is not desired to do get anything from this material activity. So even though he was playing a part of a boy and the son of Nanda Maharaja, he discharged the responsibility perfectly by looking after these cows, taking the cows in the pasturing grounds, likewise. And also as a king, so Krishna has manifested all the qualities to rule the kingdom, and also chivalry in almost all cases. And also chivalry in the sense like when getting the wives, all Krishna's queen wives, they were explaining to Draupadi how they have been married to Krishna. Some of the wives, Kalindi, she was doing tapasya at the time. Krishna along with Arjuna came there, and then he accepted Kalindi. So because of her tapasya, that is one way. And others, for example, Lakshmana and Bhadra, they were all taken by force, and also the Rukmini by Krishna. So these are all chivalry activities performed by Krishna. And also Lord Rama, he has shown his prowess while accepting Sita Devi as his wife. So these are all Krishna's qualities that are exhibited. So he displayed full responsibility in every action of his different transcendental pastimes. Okay, there are 3 more paragraphs. Can I request one more devotee just to read one more paragraph?
Krishna, can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
The 14 quality knowledge can be further extended into 5 subheadings, namely intelligence, gratefulness, power of understanding the circumstantial environmental environments of place, object, and time, perfect knowledge of everything, and knowledge of the self. Only fools are ungrateful to their benefactors. The Lord, however, does not require benefit from anyone beside himself, because he is full in himself. Still, he feels benefit by the unallowed service of all his devotee. The Lord feels grateful to his devotee for such unsophisticated, unconditional service, and tries to reciprocate it by rendering service. Although the devotee also has no such desire in his heart, the transcendental service of the Lord is itself a transcendental benefit for the devotee, and therefore the devotee has nothing to accept from the Lord. On the assertions of the Vedic approach opium sarva
Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma.
kalpitam Brahma, we can understand that the Lord by the I cannot.
Omnipresent.
So Lord by the omnipresent rays of his efficiency called Brahma Jyoti is all prevented inside or outside of everything, like the where is it gone? Like the op- omnipresent material sky, and thus he is also uh,
Omniscient.
omniscient. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here in this paragraph, so Krishna's qualities, it is further extended, say intelligence, gratefulness, power of understanding the circumstantial environments of place, object, and time. Perfect knowledge of everything and knowledge of the self. So only fools are ungrateful to their benefactors. The Lord, however, does not require benefit from anyone besides himself. He is Atmaramam Kamapurnam Nijalabena Nityada. So if we render service to Krishna, then we are the benefactors. So like when Krishna was entering into Dwaraka, at that time they were praising Krishna, so they were reciprocating by giving Tatropaniita Bhalyo Ravedhipam Ivadrutaha Atmaram Kamapurnam Nijalabena Nityada. So that way they were benefactors actually by rendering little service. But Krishna, he is always Atmaram. And forever. And also he is full in himself. He feels benefited by unalloyed service of his devotees. The Lord feels grateful to his devotees for such unsophisticated, unconditional service and tries to reciprocate it by rendering service. And the devotees also in this, they have got a similar spirit, also has no such desire in his heart. And the transcendental service of the Lord is itself transcendental benefit for the devotee. And therefore devotee has nothing to expect from the Lord. So the devotee knows what is permanent, what is non-permanent. So, and then the assertion of the Vedic aphorism, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, we can understand that the Lord, by the omnipresent rays of the effulgence called Brahma Jyoti, is all pervading inside or outside of everything, like the omnipresent material sky. And thus he is also omniscient. So he is all pervading. So that is beautifully explained by all these qualities here. So we shall cover the last two paragraphs later on. Tomorrow. Okay, so for today, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. These are the good qualities, all auspicious qualities. Just hearing these qualities again and again, we also get this into ourselves. Satyam Saucham Dhaya Chanti Tyagaha Santosha Arjavam Samodamah Tapah Samyam Titikshu Upratihi Shrutam Jnanam Viraktirashwaryam Sauryam Tejo Bhalam Smrutihi Swatantriyam Kaushalam Kantihi Dhairyam Madhavam Evacha Pragalvyam Pasyaha Seelam Sahavojo Balam Bhagaha Gambhiryam Sairyam Astikyam Kirtimano Anaham Kritihi Ete cha Anye cha Bhagavan Nityayatra Mahagunaha Sadhya Mahatvam Ichadbihi Naviyanti Sma Karhechit Teraham Gunapatrena Srinivasena Sampratam Sochamirhitam Lokam Papana Kalina Ikshitam. Likewise, Mother is speaking to Dharma. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly enter into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Krishnadasa, October 8, 1969. Can I request any devotee to read this letter?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Mary.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Letter to Krishnadasa dated 8th October 1969. Written as, My dear Krishnadas, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated October 2, 1969, and I have noted the contents with pleasure. I have seen the plan of the new temple that you have enclosed. It appears to be nice, suitable place. It is Krishna's grace that the walls for the advertisement may be properly utilized so the passengers in the trains can see it. You can write, if possible, the following words. We request you to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and your life will be sublime. The mantra may be written in big letters and the other words in smaller letters. Another slogan may be join the Krishna consciousness movement. It is peaceful and it will bring peace and prosperity to everyone. Regarding your idea for a jewelry shop, it is nice. You become an expert jeweler and you must open a jewelry shop to earn millions of dollars for spending in Krishna consciousness. Your father is a kind gentleman. I have all good wishes for him, and Krishna will also be very much pleased upon him because he has such a nice devotee son. So your father will also be pleased if you open a jewelry shop. It is a good opportunity both ways to keep good relations with your father and to make money and serve Krishna with the money profusely. Your plan for supplying the temples with nice ornaments for their deities is also very good. We should decorate our temple deities with first class ornaments and nice flowers. In this temple, you make a throne situated in a big closet. Just like I kept my deities in a place where they were locked up at certain times of the day. Similarly, you do the same. In this way, the valuables of the deities will be protected. You have given hint that I may go there again. It is not very impossible thing. It takes only an hour to go and 1 hour to come. I have some engagements here, but if I come, I can spare a week. Uh, spare at least 1 week in Hamburg. So if you arrange for my going, then it will not be impossible. But if I go next time to install the deities, you may also arrange lectures in schools and also Indo-German society. That will be nice. You have written that you have sent the kurtas for me, but I have not received them yet. To which address have you sent them? Similarly, I have not received the tickets for the Icelandic flight. I hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Note, please inquire in the post office why such things are happening about the mail deliveries. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, in these set of last few letters and the following letters, Prabhupada is writing to his disciples who are trying to establish temple in Germany. And Prabhupada is instructing how it can be done nicely in the initial stages, like where he can put the advertisement for the temple near a train station, writing the Maha Mantra and writing some slogans so that, when people travel to the train station, they can see, and that will be attracting more people in that sense. And also Prabhupada mentioned that it like a win-win situation. He said his father had a jewelry shop, so if he learns to be an expert jeweler and try to work in the shop and earn millions of dollars, so that that money can be used for Krishna's service. So he appreciated that he had his father was really nice and gentle, and if he works for the shop, his father will be happy, and then he can, with that same Lakshmi, he can contribute in the temple construction and buying jewelries and ornaments for the deities. And it will be really nice to decorate deities with first class ornaments and flowers. Of course, like if it's not available, they do with artificial ornaments. But if Prabhupada is stressing here that because he had a jewelry shop, if he earns there, works there, earns his own money, then he'll be able to buy original jewelries to decorate the deities. And Prabhupada also suggested how, because ornaments are valuable, to protect them, he can make a throne in a closet and close it when and lock it for protection, explaining how he does it for his deities. And last, Prabhupada is telling like he's in Titan House presently, and he's saying, requesting the deity that if you arrange for his travels, then he would like to go there for installation. And when he's there, he can spare a week, and he would like to do some preaching work in the Indo-German community and in schools over there with his lectures. So, and at the end, he mentioned that there was his some of the things he had sent this devotee, they were not received by Prabhupada, kurta and some tickets. So that's all, Prabhu. So like every step, like in every disciple, whoever is away from Prabhupada and trying to do something new, something very bold on their own. So Prabhupada, wherever he is, in which part of the world, whenever they try to connect to Prabhupada, he is guiding them with every small steps. Like when we speak about the 108 temples, it's so easy to speak, but all these little steps, how they were done, how meticulously at those times, they were not shortcuts like emails or telephones must have been expensive as well. So email, so this normal form of letters was the only means of communication between devotees and his disciples. But they kept on doing it, and it obviously had his con side as well. Like he lost his tickets to Iceland, some kurtas and some other things. So it had, but most of it, the whole of the movement and the establishment of temples all over the world was based on these mail systems. So yeah, and how he like it's so nourishing each day to read and learn about them, that how Prabhupada helped each of them wherever in different parts. Last week we read about devotees in Japan. He was helping them to establish temple in Japan. This week it's in Germany. So yeah, bro, that's my realization. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments, dear devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, this is more of a question than a comment, but just on what Sanchita Mataji just read, and how would we know what, obviously if Srila Prabhupada was here now, we could ask him, but how would we know what Srila Prabhupada would want us to individually do for him and for Krishna and for the movement?
So,
Oh, Prabhu, yes, please.
yes, go ahead, Mataji.
I just include like one point you mentioned last week, like when I was reading the letter regarding Japan, that till now only 3 temples are there, but in UK, which is like 55% smaller than Japan, there's so 15 temples all over UK, temples and bhakti centers and everything. So you mentioned, like Amog Prabhu mentioned, like if everything is done by the great sages and the devotees, there'll be nothing left for us to do. So these works at different parts of the world are left because so for the parampara to continue, and for us to continue serving and fulfilling those like duties and spreading the movement. Yeah, and we see that like Rath Yatra, earlier it was only London Yatra, and see this year I think it was more than so many places. I don't remember the number, but I saw a leaflet. There were so many Rath Yatras in UK this year alone, and even on the other parts of the world. So I think that's how the mission is spreading. So that's how Prabhupada must have wanted. So yeah, Amok Prabhu would of course add something more. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji, whatever you have mentioned, it is perfectly right and suitable here in this context. So Prabhupada is giving each and every individual and what Krishna wanted. So what Krishna wanted to bring the conditioned soul to him, nearer to him. So in the Bhagavad Gita at the end, whoever gives this knowledge to all Krishna's devotees or conditioned souls who have forgotten. But at the same time, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, do not disclose this knowledge to the people who are of the envious towards Krishna. So, and Prabhupada knows who are all forgotten or who are all envious and who are all trying to serve Krishna. So, Prabhupada is giving instructions to individuals what and all the best they can serve Krishna in achieving the objective to spread Krishna consciousness movement. So Krishna's desire, we know that all conditioned souls to come to him, back to Godhead, and stop all these material things. That is the Krishna's desire, and Prabhupada knows that. And we see, observe all these letters. Why Krishna consciousness movement is to stop all the material activities, not for the material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Kim punar brahmanaha punya bhakta rajashyastata adu anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam. Anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasva mam. So they have stopped all these things, all the great Rajashis, Brahmanas, and everything. They stopped material activities, they engaged themselves in the devotional service, knowing that Anityam Asukam, it is temporary and it is not pleasing, not comfortable at all. For a intelligent person, Rajashis and Brahmanas, they are the intelligent people. If we acknowledge that one, simply we can walk in their footpaths. Then we engage ourselves. So Prabhupada is giving individually for each and every instance, you do this one like that. Hare Krishna.
Should we endeavor to come out of like our material situations and then focus on bhakti? And then if you do that, you still have, obviously it goes back to the same question, you still have the question of maintenance and
Yes, Mataji. Yes.
yeah, it's like
Your
a
question,
yeah.
your question is appropriately put. So when we are young, we need how to maintain this body. Maintaining the body, it is not a difficult thing, but I want this nice house, nice comforts, bed and everything in the nice country, perfect weather. Then only all problems would come. In India, there is no problem of the maintenance of the body. If you go to the temple, and of course, but a woman, they need shelter of either father, husband, or a grown-up son. But these things, as long as we have got that desire, Krishna would arrange everything. But I wanted to go to the office and work in that FP among all those people, have a fun. Then uh, Krishna gives that kind of facility as well, and we would like to try to uh, give corresponding explanations for people in general. Okay, this is mandatory for me. That may not be uh, right, but it may be appropriate as of at that time based on the knowledge and circumstances. But from the Krishna's perspective, it is a kind of illusion only. But we have to maintain the body as long as but Krishna gives those plans as long as we keep chanting. We can do office work, we can do homework, and then engage ourselves in the devotional service.
Also, Mataji, it depends upon the situation, in every individual, because most of his disciples who were brahmacharis in temple, Prabhupada would advise them to go for preachings, book distribution, and that's how, because the letter we read yesterday, it was about same Jaya Govind, I think that was a letter to Jaya Govinda, where he was saying that if you don't sell the books, Back to Godhead magazine and the other magazines, then how can you earn? Earning some other way is not nice. But to this devotee Krishna Das, he is saying that because his father had a shop, and where he could work, he could sell the jewelries, and because that earning will be a lot, maybe selling one jewelry he can earn lots of dollars, so then use that money in the Krishna consciousness movement itself. So depending upon who is doing what, same is the situation even now also. We have devotees in the temple or brahmacharis, they are doing things differently. But those who are like patrons, or those who are devotees who are quite well off, they are of course working in the material situation in the life, and they're earning and contributing a lot of their money. And as I said, the patrons, they are not initiated, but they can't even making the haveli in a manner, they contributed so much. So he I mean, that's how the system is still laid out. Whoever can help in whatever way. So I think it still has given that flexibility, I believe. Hare Krishna.
No, I understand that bit, but
So
what would
Krishna, so Krishna gives like analogy like a Padma Patra Ivambhasa, a water drop on the lotus leaf. It is still on the leaf, but it doesn't touch the leaf. So leaf is always not wet, even though water drop is there. Likewise, we need to be there. As long as we are on this material world, we should not touch it. And if we just come out of the leaf, we are still as that complete drop. We do not touch anything like that. So it is always separated. Even though we work here, but when we go to the Lord, so I think some other devotee was mentioning, we offer our obeisances in such a way our heart is nearer to Krishna's side. And when we are going to the demigods, we offer our obeisances in opposite side, so that heart is far away from the demigods because it is preserved only for Krishna. So when we are in the material world engaging in these material activities, we do not share our inner things to the non-devotees. We share only with the devotees community only. So that way, gradually, this detachment comes.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji, for kindly explaining this one. Okay, so that's from Srila Prabhupada's letter. If you're all happy, then we shall, and from the announcements perspective, once again our week started. I don't have any further updates. Dear devotees, if you have got any updates from your end or from the temple or any events are going on, kindly share.
Hare Krishna, there's a Rath Yatra in East London today. If anybody's available and they would like to come, it's from 12 to 5. The procession will start from the town hall in Ilford and go all the way down the High Road and Cranbrook Road, and then it will end up in Valentine's Park.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So does that have a flyer is shared in the group, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu. I think I saw the Dina Shishta Mataji shared the flyer in the group. I think a couple of weeks back it must have been there. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, I have seen
Yeah,
that
from
one.
where I live, so that's why I mentioned it.
Yeah, so this is the last Rath Yatra of this year, I think. Like so many we had starting from June, July, September, October. So 5 months almost of Rath Yatra every week. Especially in July, we had in all the weeks, like Saturday, Sunday, covering all the weeks. So like these are achievements we see slowly when we see these processions. We had the opportunity to be in the Luton and this Slav Rath Yatra this year. It was really nice. First time.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji, for the update. Okay, we shall once again share the same flyer again in the group so that the devotees who are nearby, so they can take advantage of it. Okay, that is from the announcements perspective. Okay, so if you're all happy, then we shall move on to the Shloka learning. So we are in the next Shloka in the first canto, chapter 2, verse number 12. This is how one can, Shuka Goswami is telling, how one has to receive the knowledge and the devotional service as it is explained in the scriptures from the authorized persons, from the disciplic succession. And then he can continue practicing that one. So can I request dear devotees kindly recite this verse 3 times. Radha Sirka Mataji, would you like to go?
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तक्षरादधनामुनयो ज्ञानवैरागयुक्तया पश्यन्ति आत्मनि चात्मानं भक्त्या श्रुता गृहीतया। तक्षरादधनामुनयो ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तया पश्यन्ति आत्मनि चात्मानं भक्त्या श्रुता गृहीतया। तक्षरादादनामुनयो ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तया पश्यन्ति आत्मनि चात्मानं भक्त्या श्रुता गृहीतया।
Thank you, Mataji. Can I request Gauranga Mataji, if ready?
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. तत्श्रद्धाधनामुनयो ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तयः पश्यन्त्यमात्मीचात्मानं भक्त्या श्रुतगृहीतया। तत्श्रद्धाधनामुनयो ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तया पश्यन्त्यात्मानि चात्मानं भक्त्या श्रुतगृहीतया। तत्श्रद्धाधनामुनयो ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तया पश्यन्त्यात्मानि चात्मानं भक्त्या श्रुतगृहीतया। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So beautifully recited. Sanchita Mataji, would you like to go now?
Yes, Hare Krishna. तच्छ्रद्धानामुनयो ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तया पश्यन्ति आत्मानि चात्मानं भक्तया श्रुतया गृहीतया। तच्छ्रद्धानामुनयो ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तया पश्यन्ति आत्मानि चात्मानं भक्तया श्रुतया गृहीतया। तच्छ्रद्धानामुनयो ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तया पश्यन्ति आत्मानि चात्मानं भक्तया श्रुतगृहीतया। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. तश्रद्धधानामुनयो ज्ञानवैराग्ययुक्तया पश्यन्ति आत्मनि चात्मानं भक्त्या श्रुतगृहीतया. So here in the last verse, what we have said, Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Siddhite. So here the Tat is referring to that one. So the seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with the knowledge and detachment, realizes that absolute truth. So that absolute truth is that it is mentioning that Tat. Realizes that absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti. So likewise, Sloka Goswami is saying exactly. Sloka Goswami, he says that Soham va Shravayashyami yatatitam yatamatihi. I have heard this knowledge from my spiritual master, that is Sukadeva Goswami, when he was Tatra Kirtayato Vipra Viprashe Bhuni Tejasaha Aham cha Adjagamam Tatra Nivishtaha Tadanugrahat Soham va Shravayashyami yataditam yatamatihi. Whatever I have heard, I'm exactly speaking the same thing. So he said, and here is the summary when he is explaining to Saunakadi sages. So now I request dear devotees, kindly give any insights and your understanding, or you wanted to explain this one. Tashraddha Dhara Munayo. Sanchita Mataji, would you like to go now?
Yes, Prabhu. So, as we said, Shraddhana, Tat Shraddhana, those who are seriously inquisitive about this absolute truth can only get to that in pure form. Otherwise, if we do it, I mean, there are like one of the lectures I heard, like there are institutes where they do Vedic scriptures, Vedic knowledge. They are professors who teach them, but that is always done in a mundane perspective. It is done like as we do any other courses in universities and colleges. But those professors, it is not, they are not the ones who want to they are seriously inquisitive about the absolute truth. So those who surrender and want to know this absolute truth from the parampara, like how it has it has come as it is from Krishna to the paramparas. So only those can get to the absolute truth. So these are the people who are seriously inquisitive devotees. Hare Krishna. I mean, it's to explain the part is a bit difficult, but I tried to. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So that is the beauty of it. All the Shraddhadana, the sages who are seriously inquisitive on the absolute truth, the Tat. What is the Tat? Brahmeti, Paramatmiti, Bhagavaniti, Sabdhati. So who are interested to know about those things, the great sages, they are contemplating in 3 levels. Some people contemplate in the impersonal Brahman, some are in the partial realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, some are in the worshipping the full form of the deity, that is Krishna's form. They're all Muniyas, so they are contemplating. That's why they're called Munis. Munis means contemplating. Okay, so there are some Munis who are contemplating on the material things as well. Muni is not always a great person. So Muni would say, but who is connecting to Krishna is only the great person, great sages. Okay, thank you, Mataji. And then Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya, Radha Sevika Mataji.
Sorry, so jnana is knowledge. So jnana is like real knowledge. So it's not things that we necessarily, obviously we learn from scripture, but it's something that it's more, jnana is real knowledge, like what is coming straight down from the parampara and from Krishna. Vairagya, detachment. So yeah, I have problem with this. Detachment is not being attached to anything, which is it's difficult. But it's like whatever we like, so knowledge, so you have knowledge, but you also, you don't, it's, you keep a distance from it. You have knowledge, but it's like it's like, say for example, you're saying something, you say it and then you detach from it, like you don't engage in it. No, yeah, like you need clarity, you need a clean mind. Like for the knowledge to come, your mind has to be like it's got to be a clean slate. Then the knowledge drops, and then that bit drops, then you say the knowledge or whatever you and then that is but then you keep your mind still clean. You don't I can't explain it. It's a play. Detachment is like, I don't know, bro, I can't say it.
Yes, Mataji. So it is perfectly. So this is, you could explain this one, because wherever one person has got kind of, what we need to see, this body has grown from childhood to boyhood and then to youth, but we are thinking when we have got that feelings and when we are experiencing those things, to explain that vairagya, it is a bit difficult. So here for this one, Kapila Bhagavan says, Asevayayam prakriter gunanam. When we do not serve three material modes of nature with jnanena vairagya vijrumpitena. Jnanena vairagya vijrumpitena. And he says, Yogena mai apitaya cha bhaktya, and mam pratyagatmanam ihavarunde. He will attain me in this very life. So for when we are eating something, what we understand it, we are eating just for this body to be maintained, not because tongue to be satisfied. And with terminate some food, it nourishes the body, so that I can live within this body. That is the only thing we realize. And also we need some cloth to cover this body, because that as long as this body is protected, so that I can live within this body for Krishna's devotional service. But I have nothing to do with this body. That one, when we digest those things, that is called a vairagya. Anasaktasya vishyan yatarham upayunjataha nirbhande krishna sambhande yukta vairagyam uchyate. We are not interested in sense gratification. Anasaktasya vishayan yatarham upayunjataha nirbhande krishna samband. Just only the in relation. Even though we have got this any desires, just make everything to in association with Krishna. How to engage those things in Krishna service. Desires cannot be stopped, but we can divert them from material to spiritual. So I wanted to eat this food, but what I do, so I prepare food for Krishna and then offer it to Krishna, and then I will take it. That way it will become transcendental. So still doing the same thing. I am eating the same food, but it is not, previously it was bunjite papam. It was a sinful food. Now it is prasadam. So likewise, we just divert it. So it is not possible to completely stop from the material activities. So we can divert all these material activities into spiritual activities. Then that is called devotional service. So there are very, very powerful kinds of instructions in the Srimad Bhagavatam in different places. But what we need to simply engage ourselves. That is itself gives us jnana. And bhakti, when we are doing this devotional service, somewhere other engaging, jnana comes, vairagya comes in due course of time. Not immediately when we are young and exploring and everything. But when we face this material world is slapping us in a different directions, I wanted to do something very nice and I want to impress some people or managers. And then after few days, after we worked very hard, they will say, because of you, and this project failed. Then immediately some kind of hurt or unhappiness comes. Why I have worked so much? It is uselessly. I'm getting this kind of feedback. And then later on, once again, continue after a few days, we ignore it. And once again, I wanted to impress something. I have to do my duty like that. Once again, similar kind of situations comes. When it comes few times, then we immediately think that it is always like this. I need to wind up this kind of expectations from these other people. It is better for me to engage in Krishna consciousness. That kind of things would come. So whatever, if I'm going with the family, so children, are they listening to me? That is well and good in progressing in Krishna consciousness, then Krishna conscious family. And if they are not cooperating, then Krishna has arranged in such a way to turn my attention towards him. That is another opportunity. In the similar way, when we are working, and then we also see that wherever I go, so because I'm working, they are giving money. That is, but there is no relationship. We only try to speak only boast each other in the offices, so that they maintain their work. And if I just go outside, everyone are looking to do business, how to sell their marketing thing. That is the only thing. Otherwise, they don't have intention to speak to us, but they are appearing like us with smiley faces. But behind them, so-called gentlemen, they have got a different plan. It is when we are realizing all those things, then only this detachment comes. But that needs to be digested. Otherwise, even we are also doing it. We have got some taste to face such kind of people. Then detachment, it will be little bit far. So that's why as long as we stay among the devotees, those good qualities, whatever Madharat was saying, as a Krishna is the reservoir of all these auspicious qualities. Like devotees also have got some of them. Then we also get it, and then we reject these material things. That is Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya. When keep this knowledge, then whatever the situations we are facing, we apply this knowledge at the time, and then we take ourselves from that material sense gratifications. Yata samharate chayam kurmonganiva sarvashaha indriyani indriyadebhyaha tasya prajna pratisthitaha. Krishna says that Indriyani Indriyadebhyaha tasya prajna pratisthitaha. So he is called perfectly situated in the knowledge. You wanted to add anything, Mataji?
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, you explained it so nicely. Yeah, yeah. I think the only thing is, I think knowledge can come from so many, like, it's not like, obviously for us it's from scripture, but it can come from like inside and through the parampara. And I think knowledge is it's all around us, and it comes from obviously ultimately it comes from Krishna through whichever via medium. And for it to remain fresh and to keep coming, we have to, for that flow to continue, we have to stay connected.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, it is stay connected. That is the only thing. And recognize there are changes are happening within the body. That is truth. But old age, disease, and death is waiting for us. Everyone, we are all also in the mouth of a time serpent. It will swallow us, and one day that is going to be the truth. That is as sure as death. That is the proverb. As sure as death. So death is going to take over us.
So
When we understand,
sorry, carry on. Sorry.
when we understand that death, immediately we get a detachment. When we do not digest death, then detachment doesn't come.
So when we understand death,
Yeah.
it's the truth. Like, so if death is the truth, then everything else is just okay. So is it that we fear death and therefore all the issues come?
Yes.
Once we accept that death is there, and obviously death is just, for us, like, we know that it's just we know
Yes.
that it can be auspicious also. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. So it is, in generic terms, if we just naked truth, everyone dies. It doesn't matter you do good or bad, everyone dies. Narada Muni says to Yudhishthira, you are lamenting that Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, they have left. At the time he says, whatever you think they have left it, but you cannot control anything. Everything is already arranged. They have left and they're going to die. You cannot control it. Even if you just keep them here, they will have to suffer. And it is not yourself, but you think falsely that you are maintaining them. Everyone has got their death is waiting. Everyone dies. Either a good person dies or a bad person dies. But what we have to do before dying, that is very important thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So that is
Yeah.
naked truth when we speak frankly. So that is going to be even without the knowledge of all this soul and spiritual everything. People, when a person is died, especially we see in the villages, one person, everyone come and the in community will come, and then they weep sometime for the person who died, and then they will speak philosophy. Everyone speaks the philosophy to console each other, but they don't have the real philosophy. But they are, even though they, they don't know, they console each other and they digest the death very easily. And after a few days, they forget and keep continuing it. And what about the person who has left the body? He is the only one who did not realize. But before that, everyone speaks, but before death, they don't follow those things. After death, everyone speaks the philosophy. It is common. Don't worry about anything. So such kind of knowledge to relatives. But relatives, do they take it? They don't take it. So that is called smashana vairagya. Smashana vairagya. So, but one has to digest that knowledge before it and then make the endeavor what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is vairagya yuktaya, well equipped with the knowledge, and then be detached from the material things. But still, that doesn't mean that we are going far away from our responsibilities. We carry out our duties, but we don't have any control on other people's lives. That we have to also digest. Krishna is making all the arrangements. This is your father, this is your child, this is your wife, this is your father and mother. When we observe those things, staying up apart from them, then we understand everything. And then when we go in there and still keeping that knowledge, then we need to carry out the responsibility. Still, we love our family members, but also at the time we have got that knowledge. But we don't speak every day that knowledge to the family members. They will be upset. But we have to digest within ourselves and practice, and also we carry out our duties and responsibilities towards our family members. But the detachment in the heart to the material things.
So I know you just explained how to do that, the detachment from the heart, but it's easy to say and difficult to do. So because obviously naturally, because we are, well, we are attached to, not, I mean, we care about our families, we love our families, we love people, we're social beings, I suppose, to a certain extent as well. How do we detach? I know obviously chanting completely helps. I get that you feel that relief, apart from, but even sometimes if someone we love hurts us, we feel that pain, or if someone loves us, we feel that love, whatever it is, the emotion. So how do we remain detached from that? Because it is the heart space. It is like, if we block it, it's going to cause disease. If we reciprocate, then that, I don't know if that's correct. How do we manage that part, especially the emotions and the heart space?
Yes, Mataji. So whatever you're saying is right. But when we have that desire, oh Krishna, I want only you. Then what Krishna does, he makes, when you are making those steps towards Krishna, he makes arrangements from the family members. For example, if I love one person very much, and then Krishna makes an arrangement in such a way that person speaks to you to detach your heart from him or from. So what?
Oh.
So those words you would hear, they will cut the knot. So this is Subritya Samsara Taruh Kotaram. Tam Tva Saranam Saranyam Subritya samsara taruh kutaram. Devahuti says to Kapila Dev, if you desire to stay and surrender yourself to Krishna, then what Krishna do? He will take the axe and then he will cut the samsara, attachment with this material world. Material world in the sense, all the relations.
Oh,
That is Saranam Saranyam. Tantva Saranam Saranyam. Sobritya Samsara Taruh Kutaram. Sobritya Samsara Taruh Kutaram. Kutaram is the axe and Taro is the tree. Samsara tree. Samsara. Sobritya Samsara Taruh Kutaram. Sobritya, when Krishna thinks that it is my servant, then he takes the axe and then cut the tree of attachment. But what we need to do? Saranam Saranyam. So that thing will come slowly, Mataji. So we have to just patiently wait and carry out our responsibilities. But desire needs to be there.
yeah, because we feel pain, don't we? Because even if we do surrender to Krishna, and then then the people around us start being horrible to us, not horrible, or they say something to try to detach that, and then we feel the pain anyway, because we do love that person still, or those people or whatever.
Yes. Yes, Mataji. Unless we feel that pain, we don't get the detachment. If we are happy, how can anyone be far away from the happy, which is temporary?
Okay.
So it is a bit a tricky thing. So Bhogeshwari Prasaktanam Tayapahuta Chetasam. When we feel happy, we cannot go away from it that much easily. Do we?
No.
Whenever it is giving pain only, we want it to be far away from those pains. We have to recognize that one. Otherwise, if you are very happy and comfortable, no one would like to go. It is very, even Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says the same words as you say. I do not want to leave family members. But Rupa Goswami, he made me to drink the nectar of Vairagya. But I am worshipping that Rupa Goswami. He says, later on, not at the moment, but later on. Initially, it was Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, initially it is painful. But later, Parinami Amrutopamam. Tadagre Vishamyeva Parinami Amrutopamam. Initially, it's like a poison, but later on, it is a nectar. That knowledge is in the mode of goodness. That determination is in the mode of goodness. That happiness is in the mode of goodness. So we need to take those pains. It is very hard, but it is sometimes it is not spoken directly to the devotees in the beginning, but all the devotees here are initiated or advanced. That's why I'm speaking these things. So without those experiencing those pains, one cannot get a detachment from them, from the family members. Okay, so that is Jnana Vairagyuktaya. So what is this bhakti? So Prabhupada says it is Vairagyam Nija Bhakti Yogam. Vairagyam Nija Bhakti Yogam. Nija Bhakti Yogam. That is the true bhakti. Vairagyam. They are very strong words. But when we are just reciting these things and also practicing day to day, it will come. But we have to be patient, accepting that, and desire for it. When I would. Okay, so that's all. Thank you so much, Mataji. Let's not go into deep for now.
Thank you.
Okay. Gauranga Mataji, would you like to go? Pasyanti Atmani Chatmanam.
Paschati Atmanam Chatmani. Okay. Paschanti means see Atmani within himself, cha and Atmanam, the Paramatma, who know inside, who have Paramatma inside himself, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I cannot, explain, Prabhuji, please
Yeah, you have
explain.
said Mataji properly. So Pasyanti is seeing Atmani within himself, Cha and Atmanam, the Paramatma. Whoever sees the Paramatma is in his heart. Pasyanti Atmani Chatmani. Looking at Krishna or Super Soul within ourselves. That is one. Who does that one? The Munayo, who are all associating with Krishna with Shraddhana, with faithfulness. So that is Pasyanti Atmani Chatman.
Thank
Okay,
you, Prabhuji.
thank you, Mataji. So this is once again Krishna says when to so many places in the Bhagavad Gita and also in the Bhagavatam to so many people. Krutva cha jiveshu dattva cha bhayamatmavan. So he says that you see yourself, all the living entities in me and myself in you. Likewise, in such a way, Vidya Vinay Sampanye Brahmane Kavihastini Sunichayo Supake cha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. We see how Krishna is existing in all the living entities. And also, Upanishads also says all of us knows that Krishna or super soul and the individual souls, they exist in our body, in each and every living entity's heart. Individual one is trying to enjoy the fruits of actions, but super soul is only witnessing it. That one is recognizing by a Muni who is in the Shraddhadhana. In what? In the absolute truth, that is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then only he can see. Thank you, Mataji. And Bhaktya Sruta Gruhitaya. Sanjita Mataji, would you like to?
Yes, Prabhu. So, bhakti in devotional service, Shruta, the Vedas and Grihatya is well received. So, here Prabhupada is trying to explain that a sincere devotee, he must be prepared to hear the Vedic literature like the Upanishads, Vedanta, and the other literatures which are left by the previous Goswamis and Acharyas, and try to get the benefit out of it. Like without the literature, if we try to make some devotional service, it is not as fruitive. Like it's worthless. And so unless we have this, Shruti, Smriti, Purana, and Pancharatra, these we don't have this absolute knowledge from the proper sages. Like in the first. What was it like the inquisitive those sages who are have this knowledge according to the parampara. If we, the especially Suta Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and all the Goswamis and the acharyas, if we get the knowledge which of the Vedas which have been given by the authoritative genuine authority, if we take uh, well received means, if we have surrendered ourselves to accept that, and in that mood we do devotional service, then it's well accepted by the Lord. Otherwise, just doing devotional service and like rejecting the tattvas, the Vedic scriptures, it's worthless. So that's what Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, that is the proper way. Evam parampara praptam imam rajashyo viduhu. Otherwise, aikantiki hare bhaktihi utpadayaiva kalpate. It will be so many disturbances in executing devotional service. So that is Tashraddhatanam Munayo Jnana Vairagyuktaya Pasyanti Atmani Chatmanam Bhaktya Shrutabruhitaya. Just exactly Narada Muni received the knowledge from the Bhakti Vedantas and he executed. He was able to see a glimpse, but he could not completely see him due to the tears filled his eyes. And then, but later on, he could hear only the Lord's voice and his words. So he executed devotional service throughout, and later on in the next day of Brahma, he became Narada Muni. He got a transcendental body. He can travel into spiritual or material worlds wherever he goes. Because just only he has heard from the authority on the Bhakti Vedantas. Exactly, he heard it and he practiced it. And we have got our spiritual masters. They are repeating just the same thing what they have heard from their spiritual masters. Our duty is just to hear the same words and practice in our life and carry out until end of our life. And then we see what is later on. We actually mamaloka avalokanam. So Krishna says, Manishitanu anubhavoyam mamaloka avalokanam. Yad upasrutya rahasi chakardha paramam tapaha. Oh Brahma, you have heard those words tapa, and later on chakardha paramam tapaha, you perform tapasya, and then one can experience manishtanu anubhavoyam mamaloka avalokanam. He experiences that opulences in my abode, in my association, just because you have heard and practiced that tapasya. Okay, just as heard from the Vedanta Shruti. Okay, so, and also I request dear devotees, you wanted to shed any more light and you wanted to ask questions and add any more things in this verse.
But just one question. So, you know, like we're saying that Narad Muni got his spiritual body. Is that, should that be a goal that we obviously we want to go back to Godhead, etc. Should we make that a goal, or is that something that automatically happens? And how, again, obviously, what do you know? The question is, what does Srila Prabhupada or Krishna want from us here? But then, what about going forwards when we die or whatever?
So when we die, this material body, it will be digested and merged into these 5 elements: earth, water, fire, ether, space, those things. And still there is a subtle body which is also digested through the devotional. Jarayati yasu yakosham nigirna manaloyata, just by rendering devotional service. Devanam gunalinganam anushrivika karmanam. All this Devanam gunalinganam anushrivika karmanam. When we engage all these senses, exactly as is said it in the scriptures. Satyam evaika manaso vrittihi swabhaviki tvaya Animitta bhagavati bhaktihi siddher gariyasi. Animitta bhagavati bhaktihi siddher gariyasi. One can achieve the perfection of human life. Siddher gariyasi. That is jarayati asu yakosham nigirna manalohita. How they can be performed? Naikatmatam means purhayanti kechin matpada seva abhirata madihaha. Yo anyonyata bhagavataha prasajya sabhadayante mama paurushani. Just by glorifying and taking shelter of lotus feet of Krishna. So all these words Kapila gives this knowledge of Bhakti Yoga very beautifully. And what are the questions Mataji you are asking? Exactly Devhuti also asked. Even though the quality of a soul, it has to take on some kind of body. How can it is detached from this material world? She asked so many intelligent questions. Your questions are exactly reflecting them. She is very, very intelligent and asking, technically explain this to me. Kapila, so explain this to me likewise. Say they are in the third canto, chapter 24, 25, 26, 27. Her questions are very, very, in the beginning, her questions, her realization is after enjoying with her husband. एतावतालं कालेन व्यतिक्रान्तेन मे प्रभो इन्द्रियार्थप्रसङ्गेन परित्यक्तपरात्मनः. While engaging myself, I have wasted so much of my time. My husband, you are the realized soul, but even though I am with you, but I have neglected Paratma. But even though I have neglected, but I am in association with you constantly, even for the sense gratification. So that would give me abhayam. Abhayam means assurance for my life. So unknowingly associating with the devotees also is beneficial to one. So that is the starting point of Devhuti. After that, she asks so many questions with Kadama Prajapati. After that, when Kadama Prajapati leaves, after some time, when Kapiladev takes birth, and then she asks Kapiladev so many philosophical questions, asking these. So these questions are, my senses are always disturbing me. Nirvinna nitram bhuman asad indriya darshanat. All the senses are always disturbing me. Please tell me, how can I overcome all these disturbances? That is the starting of inquiries, and then Kapiladev gives all this knowledge. So many chapters speaks, and then still she keep on asking these questions. How to? Tell me everything which I can do. Sukham buddhya nidbodham. Very, very easily. I'm a woman. How can I execute these things? Yosha bhavat anugrahat. So likewise, you please explain me how I can execute these things. Okay, so sorry, Mataji, I'm just taking your song so far. Sorry, Mataji, what is your question? I think I don't know if I'm still.
No, I think you're just okay. It's amazing the way you explain it. So the question is, do we still have to have a goal, even for our spiritual, wherever we're going, like we would in the material world? How do we know what it is that Krishna wants from us, even like how do we know that, like Narad Muni, he got a spiritual body. How do we know what Krishna wants from us, even at that point? So yeah. Oh, how? Yeah. Like, should we have? Do we have to create the spiritual goal, or does that automatically come? I don't even know if I'm making sense at this moment.
So these are all technical things, but actually Krishna only asking Manmana Bhavad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. Just become my devotee. That is the only thing Krishna is asking. Everything else is going to be, it will be in your experience once you achieve it. But here in the beginning, we wanted to know what happens after going with Krishna in the Goloka, how we are going to enjoy. That is all your inquiries. But that will be later on. But in the beginning, Krishna is asking only to surrender, only become my devotee. That is easy step. But while we have got the material body and material knowledge and trying to understand, which is after crossing the line, which is which can be understood only by complete jnana vairagya yuktaya, those sages. But we need to elevate ourselves to that point, then we understand those things, what Krishna is expecting in this body. For everyone has a material body. Srotram chakshuho rasanam sparshanam ghranam evacha adhisthaya manashayam vishayan upasevate. everyone has got desires to experience within this body. As soon as we are done with it, and then Krishna, we have to utilize the rest of it at least in the devotional service. Somewhere or other, we have to make this body useful to Krishna. Speaking Krishna's words, distributing books, making prasadam and giving to others, spreading the knowledge.
Yeah.
So that is what Krishna is expecting us. Pure goal. So this, when we are practicing this tapasya, and the great our acharyas, if we go nearer to them, their bodies looks like the molten gold color. That means they have spiritualized their body through their tapasya and spreading Krishna consciousness. So even the body gets older, still those luster of the body would not decrease. It will always keep on increasing. But everything else in this middle world, it keep on decreasing only.
Yeah.
So now we have got our body which has got strong senses, how we can utilize in Krishna's consciousness. That knowledge Krishna gives. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. When we have got desire to serve, he will give that knowledge inside. Dadami buddhi yogam.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So your questions are so transcendental. They're practical, but at this moment, due to our young age or associating with the people like in this material world, living among them, so they're appropriate and they will be answered within the heart. Samanvechya Satvanam Bhagavan Atma Maya Antha Purush Rupena Kala Rupena Yo Bahihi. In due course of time, you will understand. Samanvechya Satvanam Bhagavan Atma Maya. He will reveal everything. But our desire should not be deviated. Our endeavor should not be deviated. Then only everything will be revealed.
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. So I think we are nearly 2 o'clock. So we shall conclude our session for today.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. You're so amazing. I don't know. You're so amazing.
Okay, so thank you, Mataji. So it's all Krishna's mercy and the devotees association. And you're all asking, and everything is in the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. We are just simply repeating it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're all happy, and then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण कॉन्शियस डे एवरीवन। हरे कृष्ण। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद